Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel, this beautiful day. How are you beautiful people doing? Hope you're doing great. As always, check out the description box, all the nice links. Also drop a like, subscribe if you like the content. Good intro, let's keep going. So today we're going to create a little map out of drop-down lists and stuff, and we're just going to work with that a little bit. So I'm going to open my settings state.cpp and h, and also I'm going to open my the actual GUI stuff here, cancel, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Here you go. So I got GUI, all this stuff here. Now I realized one thing is that if I go down to my drop-down list, I will see that I'm creating a new button, but a copy of the list, first element of the list, or any element of the list. What I have to do is then it will get the position basically of that. So I don't really want that. I want it to have its own position. So we're gonna have to work with that a little bit, but we'll leave that for now, just a minute, and then we're gonna go down and everything seems fine. So basically what I'm going to start off with doing basically is I'm going to start changing stuff. So this is not going to be this anymore. I'm just going to copy this for buttons like that. And I'm going to pretty much just change this to drop down list. Drop down list. Let's just do that. Drop down list. Okay. Lists, there you go, and remove the DDL because we're not going to be using that. Now we got to change some function names, and mainly those that have buttons after it. So I'm going to just change everything that has buttons after it to GUI, okay, and then render or update GUI, render buttons, render GUI like that, and also the update GUI needs the delta time because of the drop-down list. So then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start changing the names here as well. So init buttons, init GUI, settings state init GUI. It's basically going to tell you where all the errors are. I'm going to remove that DDL thing there. Update GUI, GUI, GUI. And then DT in there. I'm going to remove this update. Whoops. Render GUI. It's fine. I'll remove this GUI. Now I'm going to uncomment most of this because I'm going to need to see the mouse position to correctly set a position for these things that we're going to be creating. Things, that's very vague. For the buttons we're going to be placing, or the drop down list we're going to be placing. So I'm going to have to know the positions, basically just see the positions in from this text element. So there you go. Now we're going to have to start working up here. So let's minimize all of these. Init GUI. So I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to say this drop down list at resolution, because we're going to be creating a drop down list for the resolution, basically, so you can select the resolution. And then we're going to set this to 3, remember this, because this is the number of elements we're going to send in. And I'm going to minimize that because I'm just going to send in a few example ones. 1920 x 1080. Maybe 800 x 600, and then we're gonna have maybe 640 x 480 for the real old school people who are playing on a potato. So there you go, that's potato resolution, and this is somewhat okay resolution for today's standards, by today's standards. And I'm gonna guess this is gonna be about 800, pretty much far down, so maybe 400. We'll see. 450, something like that. I might have looked a little bit before. I don't really remember though. but something like that should be fine. And then we have our exit state button, which is cool. And instead of quit, I'm actually going to say back to this button, and I'm going to put it very far to the right so that it doesn't, because the problem was this: when I pressed quit in the settings state, the quit button in the main menu state was pressed simultaneously because they were right on top of each other, and then I quit the game. So if I put it to the right, I'm going to be able to click it and go back to the main menu state without quitting it. But there you go. So now we have the drop down lists. Copy this whole thing here, and we're going to name this iterator 2. Everywhere where it says IT, I'm going to say IT2. Okay? Just make sure you get all of the IT2s here. And I'm going to say this. Drop down lists begin. Just exchange all the buttons with drop down lists, and just keep this. Doesn't really matter. We're just deleting everything. So there you go. This doesn't matter. The same thing here. So I'm going to do a little comment here. Buttons, GUI elements in the state and handle their functionality. So that looks pretty good. Button functionality, like that. And then we're going to do drop down lists. Drop down lists functionality. So there you go. Now just copy paste basically this here, and as before, this drop down lists, and this doesn't only take the mouse position, it also takes the DT. So I'm going to put the DT in there, and we're going to update the drop down lists, and the functionality we'll check later, because whenever you click on one of these, that resolution is going to be set to whatever whatever I set it to, basically. So we're going to be playing around with that. Update GUI, fine. Render GUI. Here we're going to have to render, copy this, and we're going to say this this drop. I'm so slow today. I've had a long day, so that's why I might be a little slow, but this should work. And then we're rendering the GUI, and pretty much we're good. So let's minimize most of these so we can work with these later. Make sure you delete all your drop down lists and buttons, because it's very important. Don't forget that. Also, I got some emails from some people. I just want to say to all of you who email me that I'm really sorry if I can't answer, because I've had a lot of work lately. I'm studying so full-time kind of, so it's kind of hard for me to go through all that. I really wish I could help you more, but I'm gonna try. So whenever I get the time, I will. Otherwise, just ask in Discord. Maybe you can get some help there. I just want to say that. But here we go. Now we got our drop-down list here. It doesn't look right because we need this 1920 times 1080 to be below as well. See, there are two buttons overlapping, so I don't want to do that. I just want to, basically have one active button on top and then all the options below. And whenever I select one, I want it to become the main active button. So we're going to play around with that a little bit. So if we go into the GUI here, because we just have a few minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to prepare for it. I'm going to go ahead and go up here, and I'm going to say Control X that, put it at the beginning. Just copy this new button thing and just paste that there. And then we need one more of these, like that. Whoops. Like this. Okay, so we got the new button. And no I. Basically, it's just going to be plus height. No, it's not going to be anything, actually. Like that. List at position. Default index, because that's the text. And then okay, good. This is gonna be I'm gonna make an internal little parentheses here, I plus 1 multiplied by height. So that means that this is going to be up top, this active element. And then the other ones below is always going to be 1 times height plus the Y position. So that's going to be the Y position plus the height. Then the next button is going to be 2 times height, 3 times height. So they're going to come right below each other. And then they're going to use their own text here. So there you go. Pretty much, pretty good. Update. Okay, is pressed and then key time. Show list. Okay. Good. This just shows and hides the list. Okay, and where active element is pressed, then that happens. And we're updating everything else. If I is pressed, and this get key time. You do this within the loop. If I is pressed, this get key time. So that means we can't press it a lot, just once, and then the key time is going to start running. So if that is done, basically what I want to do is I want to say this show list equals false. And then I want to say this active element set text to this. No, I get text. Okay, so I'm going to set the active element's text to whatever it was. So there you go. If show list, then that happens. And that's when we're updating it. So that's going to be good. Let's see. So settings. Okay, that crashed. That was not good. This active element set text. Get text. Is that because it is a... Let's go back to button. Where is it? Button. Set text. That's fine. Get text. We're going to remove that thing right there. The reference symbol. Set text. Get text. There we go. Just remove that. String get text. And then we'll run this again and we'll see. If we get a bad allocation, doesn't matter. We'll figure it out later. What the problem is. Probably not that hard to do. Update GUI. Okay. Okay, now it's working. So it was a copy. See? So we can change the resolution by clicking on these buttons. And that only updates when I open it up like this. See? So that's what we wanted, basically. Pretty much what we wanted. And I quit that. Nothing else happens. Okay, so I'm updating the drop-down lists. And then GUI. What happens in the update? Now we got to kind of optimize it. Just look at it a little bit. Let's see what happens. So I'm updating the active element, updating key time. Also checking if it's pressed, because if it is, then we hide the list. Show and hide the list. If I'm showing the list, we'll update the list, update each button, check to see if it's pressed. And then if it is pressed, get key time. Cool. Good. So pretty much. That looks cool. I like that. Now we got to end this video, but in the next one we're probably going to work with button a little bit, add some more stuff to button, just a little bit, make it make the active, or it will help us kind of customize the drop down list a little more so we can see which one is active, what the hell's going on. Also, before I leave you, I want to set all these texts to 14, just because that's nice. I like that. And I'm gonna set the text color to 200 here actually, because it's a little meh. So this looks a little better. And yeah, I like that. That's cool. So thank you guys and girls, I guess. Thank you for sticking with me all this time. As I said, sorry about the emails not being able to answer. I wish I had more time so I could help you guys out. I don't want to act like I have all this cool stuff I'm doing and shit. It's not. It's just a bunch of studies, bachelor thesis and stuff. So it's taking a lot of my time. Pretty much that's why. But I really care about all of you. I really appreciate all the support. And it's just been amazing, all you guys talking to me and needing help and all that stuff. I just wish I could help everybody, but I'm just one man, you know. But like I said, check out the description box for the Discord link and all that. Join me there, and other people there might be able to help you. So thanks again, take care, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next one, all right? Bye-bye.